Yes, this is going to be two side mini stories for what happened with both Aoi and Mayumi. Seeing as everyone else was taken off to train and we saw theirs in the main story, these ones are going to be a bit more private and personal. So we're going to start off with Aoi's. Um, oh, god damn it. And like other times where it takes fucking either ages or just doesn't do it. Anyway. So Aoi, after you and your friends came into this big building, you met up with a few big Digimon in the same room, and after some words were spoken between everyone, you were picked up by one very fancy looking knight man and dashed out the room. You basically sprinted through the town back down to the staircase to the side where the three cave entrances were. You and Medieval Dukemon go into the leftmost cave, and within there is yet another training area. But this one has a different feel than you'd expect it to have. Whereas everything else in this village is very themed towards ancient Japan, basically. This room has a more other placely feel. It's got coats of arms on the walls. It has swords, spears, javelins, you name it. Even a few horse riding equipment as well.
What's this place?
Well, small child, this is my training area. No one claimed it for themselves, so I had it.
I guess it looks kinda cool.
Thank you, I made it myself.
What would Aoi have to roll to see if she recognizes any of, I guess, this aesthetic would be the word. Would that be a history?
Yeah. You don't recognize any of them, like, personally, but, like, you've seen some of them when you were watching, like, History Channel documentaries and stuff with Henry.
This stuff looks kinda familiar. Wait a second. Are you a knight?
That I am! And that is why you are here too!
Am I gonna be a knight?
Yes, I am going to teach you the ways of the knight.
Oh, okay, what do I need to learn?
Well, firstly, would you like to hear some tales of triumph from me?
Oh boy, would I?
Well, I personally single-handedly saved my town and my entire world. Ha ha!
What? Wait, how did you do that?
Through the use of my magic and my brute strength, I saved Witchelney.
Witchelney? What's that?
It is a place for wizards and witches to live.
That sounds really interesting. Wait,
It was.
you...
It's funny, seeing as even after I saved that place, a lot of Digimon decided to move out and move to this world. There's actually a small village here somewhere that's full of these types of Digimon.
Do you think we could visit at some point?
Of course! It would be my honor to take you there someday.
Wait, so if what you're saying is that you saved your entire world and everybody in it, that's gotta be like at least like 100 people, right?
Ha, at least.
Okay, cause I think I need to only protect let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 people at most, and actually a bunch of Digimon now I think about it. But if you teach me how to do what you do, I won't even have to worry about protecting like an entire world. I just have a small group.
Oh, my dear sweet girl, if you can save 100, you can definitely save at least 4 people.
Yes! Oh my goodness, I'm so good at math.
Mr. Sniffles is going to, like, hold on to your hand and say, "Are you sure we can trust him?"
Oh yeah, he's super cool. He's doing like poses and stuff, and he's really shiny.
I'm not so sure.
Oh, wait, why? He looks so trustworthy.
I'm just getting a bad feeling from him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not even him.
Allie's gonna scratch her little chin and roll an insight check.
It's okay.
18. Holy shit.
Who's this against, sorry?
This is against my trainer.
Medieval Dukemon.
Medieval Digimon.
In this moment, he's very easy to read to you. Like, he's not lying. He's genuinely excited to teach you and to tell just his stories.
Well, Mr. Sniffles, if you are feeling uneasy and things go bad, you can just like turn into Big Mr. Sniffles and bonk him on the head.
I can only do that with your help.
Oh yeah, it's easy. I just have to press a button. I can do it like a second. Like, I played a video game before. You can, in a video game I played, I just pressed the button really fast and then I won. I just need to do that just like in a video game. But we won't have to do that because this guy seems really nice. But in case, he will press the button really fast.
Okay. And he'll just look down while still holding onto your hand.
Okay, what is the first step of my training?
Well, what we will be learning first is how to ride.
How to ride like in a car?
Even better, upon a horse or another Digimon. Seeing as we don't have horses here right now.
I guess I
Question, do you have a Digimon that's big enough for you to ride on?
I have Miramon, but he kind of catches on fire, so I don't think that would be smart.
That one might hurt. What about that small one?
I guess I could ride on him, but I don't know if Mr. Sniffles is that strong. Oh, wait a second. Mr. Sniffles, are you ready to get bigger?
I'm ready.
Okay. I give...
Gonna fiddle around on my Digivice until I see the Digi-Evolution button.
Okay.
Wait. Mr. Sniffles is the right thing, I just can't read that well.
It's that button right there.
Okay. Boop.
And he Digivolves. He gets big.
Oh my goodness, I forgot you have gun hands. That's so cool. So, I guess, lean over a bit.
Oh, yeah. He just gets down on one knee.
I was gonna like awkwardly try to climb up his ear and then like get on top of his head and just kind of put her hands around his horn just as kind of like a handle.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm done with this part of the training.
That's only part one of part one. Now, spin around very fast. And try to hold on.
Wait, I spin around really fast, or he spins around really. Whoa!
Roll me a dex. No, roll me a strength save.
17.
You managed to hold on very well. You feel a little bit dizzy, but not too much.
Wow, yes. I remember when I was on the playground one time, and they had like the little spinny thing. I don't know what they're called, but I remember some of the kids were spinning me around a lot, and then they like just got bored, and I kept on spinning.
Well, that's very sad sounding. The fact they left you there alone.
Oh, it's fine. I was dizzy afterwards, so.
Well, in any case, I think you'll do very well at this first part of your training.
Wait, so is it good?
Pardon?
Is it good?
Yes, it is.
Oh. Okay, what do I do now?
Well, now, we do a hard part. First, I'll need you to get down from, I'm sorry, what's your name? Gargomon. From Gargomon.
Mrs. Nibbles, but if you want to go back, I go on, sure.
Aoi will just kind of plop off Mr. Sniffles.
Now, what we'll be doing next is something that may be kind of dangerous. I shouldn't really teach something like this to such a young, small girl, but I think you can take it.
Well, I guess I've been doing a lot of dangerous things recently.
Aoi says as she's standing next to her 6-foot-tall gun bunny.
Well, you said you wanted to keep your friends safe, right?
Oh yes, like, not to be frank, but they're really bad at not getting hit by things. Sorry. My friend, my cousin says he's not really the healthiest person in the world. So when he gets hurt by stuff, I get really scared. I want to make sure he doesn't do that.
Okay, I know exactly what I need to teach you. How about something that makes it so your friends will be safe because your enemies won't be able to attack them as well.
Oh, well, that's a start. That sounds good.
Okay, now follow my lead. And just so we don't have to do this whole thing, a couple of hours start to pass as he teaches you ways to distract opponents, making it so that all their focus will only have to be on you. And if they try to go for someone else, not only will you be able to attack them to keep them on you, but they won't be able to attack your friends as hard, basically.
Okay.
And that would be your implaceable mark.
Oh, I learned a lot today. Mostly how
Well,
you
we still have a few more days to go, but you're getting the basics down at least.
and
And if all the others' trainings are going well today, they might be getting their weapons today as well. So, I'm going to give you this. He runs back towards the wall, and behind one of the shields is actually a small hole. And he pulls a very tiny jar out from behind it. Here! You see a lot of really beautiful ones and zeros in like an aurora borealis kind of state. It's very sparkly.
Hey, Mr. Medieval Digimon, I know I said I was getting better at math earlier, but I don't know how I'm gonna use it as a weapon.
Oh no. I want you to go next door to the cave with the metal outside. This is going to help you. This is going to be made into a weapon. I want you to go over there and ask the nice lion man to make you a punchy weapon.
Okay. I guess so. I like meeting new people. Meeting new friends. Yeah, I guess I'll go now.
Be safe.
Thank you.
I'll be right here for you. How'd you get up there?
How did I get up where?
You're all the way up there on the map. The caves are down here.
Oh, okay. I thought it started somewhere in there, but that's where my token was last time, so I just accepted it.
Okay, you start walking. There's a lot of heat and smoke in here. You hear the sound of a very large clanging noise in the back. You don't really see anyone when you initially go in, so...
Hello?
Who's there?
My name's Yowie. I'm here to see a lion man.
And just in case people didn't see it last time, or you didn't get to, I will show this again. You see this man walking up from a hole in the wall, which has now become a doorway.
Wow, you look really cool.
There you go.
What happened to your leg?
Lost it in a fight.
Oh, that's sad. Well, I
What
don't
are you
need a
doing
new
here?
leg.
And Allie's gonna, like, point to her legs that are currently both there.
When you see, the people from the cave medieval Digimon, he gave me this jar of ones and zeros and told me to bring them to you because you're really cool and can make it into a punchy weapon.
A punchy weapon.
A punchy
Alright.
weapon.
Alright, give me the jar.
Yep, boop, boop. Here you go.
There's some found data. How'd you get his hands on this?
I don't know.
There's some Dynaspawn data. I want you to roll me a history on that one.
Allie goes into chin rubbing mode.
Nah, not a clue. That sounds weird. Those are numbers, but still pretty.
I still don't know how you turn math into weapons, but
It all has to do with putting it into the metal first, and then folding it over and over. That's how most metals work.
Can I watch?
Sure. He just walks into the back room. And when you walk in there with him, you see a massive anvil and a lot of power equipment back there. Some tools that seem very weird. There's a giant furnace in the back, which currently has weapons already inside being made. You see in there, weirdly enough, or there's a bow being forged in there. You don't know how that's probable, because even like those are made of wood, those burn. But you also see what looks like a katana in there, and a very thin blade. Looks like it's gonna hurt if someone gets poked.
The question, Mr. Iron Man. Those weapons inside the furnace, are those for my friends?
Yeah, they came by earlier.
Oh, that's really cool.
They chose the course for their weapons, and looks like you got a special one for yours. Even I couldn't get hands on this one. This one the data you brought me belongs to one of the Royal Knights.
Oh, I'm friends with some of the Royal Knights.
You ever see one pure white armor? Looks kind of dragon-like.
I think I did.
Yeah, that's this one's data. It makes sense why you'd need this one to make a quote-unquote punchy weapon, seeing as he uses the powers of the dragons in his attacks.
Dragon punches.
Basically.
It's really cool.
You see him looking through like huge chunks of ores and irons to pick out what looks like the right ones. He settles on a very shiny silver looking one. He brings it over to his big forge, heats up the metal. It takes a couple of minutes before it gets red hot. He brings out with a pair of tweezers or tongs, and he takes the jar of data and just opens the lid over it. You see the data kind of start to wisp out like smoke. And then he grabs his giant hammer and starts smacking the data down towards the iron. And every time he does so, more smoke begins to melt with this iron. And you can see the iron changing itself. It's no longer just a nice shiny silver, it starts to turn white. Even in its red hot state, you can tell there's a color change going on here. He keeps hammering away at this for a while, flattening it out, making other parts into points, cooling it off, heating it up again, all that jazz. And then after a good hour or two, maybe even 3 at this point, after putting on the details and that, he hands you some... They're like gauntlets that look like they'd fit onto your hands, but they don't go all the way around the hand, just the backs. Basically, it's like Armstrong's weapons from Full Metal Alchemist.
Ooh, I know those.
It's like those, but there's like a bit more that goes up the arm.
Okay.
And they look very stylized. They look a lot like the Digimon you know that this data came from. It looks a little bit like Dynasmon.
These are really pretty.
Well, they're yours now.
Thank you. Do I need to give you any money?
Nah, everything's already been paid for.
Okay.
I do have one question for you, though.
Yes?
Why do you want these punches? Why do you go in to hit people.
Well, at first it was, my Uncle Ty was a very short temper, taught me how to control punches, right? I don't know why, but, it doesn't really work that well. And then I went to the digital world, and Digimon also taught me how to throw punches really well. But other than that, I don't really think I'm good with any other weapons.
Uh,
It's not really, I guess I just do it just 'cause I want to. I like, playing trombone, but you can't really hit people with a trombone without hurting the trombone, so I don't do that.
let's see. Tell you what. You still got more. I've heard you still have more training to do, right?
Yes.
I'll come and teach you some things myself.
Oh, really?
I did used to be part of a group, you know. We were almost invincible. You see him look over to the side of that, and you do notice there's a very tattered but nice looking black coat on the wall, with a chain dangling from the collar.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days. Anyway, you should probably get along now. I don't want to keep you up.
I will actually do a little bow.
Thank you, Mr. Lion Man. You're really nice.
My name's Bancho Leomon.
Bancho Leomon.
You can just call me BL for sure if you want.
BL. I'll probably remember that better anyways.
I thought you meant.
Okay, well, see you, BL.
I'll see ya.
We will run off back to medieval Dukemon.
You plod back into the cave, and you see him polishing one of his axes. Oh, you're back! Oh, damn. I didn't realize what the time was. It's almost time for bed.
Rats wants to punch things.
You can do that tomorrow.
Okay. Has Mr. Sniffles been behaving himself?
You see Garglemod just kind of sat down in the corner. He's just... Roll insight for me.
Insight.
Damn, another 18.
Yeah.
He looks a bit upset. Like, very upset, actually.
Mr. Sniffles?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just a bit...
It's, time for bedtime now. Is something bothering you?
I'm still having memories come back, but I can't make sense of them still. And I'm worried because it all involves me and my sister.
What one?
Yeah. I know she doesn't really care if she gets her memories back. She's focusing on the future, but I don't know. I feel I should be focusing on the past. Because something happened, and I can't remember what, but it's scaring me. And I just keep seeing the same symbol.
What does the symbol look like?
He tries to use the end of his gun arm to draw the same symbol that you've seen before, the 4 triangles.
Can I roll a history check to see if there's anywhere specific that I remember those from?
Yes.
Okay, because out of character, I have an idea.
Oh, yeah, you were. Oh, no. He drew that in a book before.
It looks familiar, but I don't recognize. Can't tell you what it is. Maybe, we could, ask the knights, the Imperial Knights, they're like really old and wise and stuff, right? Maybe they know.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe we should do that, like, tomorrow. It is probably getting late out now.
Okay, I think it's time to go to bed.
And Aui's just gonna grab the end of Mr. Sniffle's giant gun arm and start walking out.
Thank you, Medieval Digimon, for training me today.
No problem. Don't forget to come back tomorrow.
Okay.
And you make your way back to the big house, seeing as you weren't actually told where you'd be sleeping.
Okay, do I see anybody around that I can ask?
Yeah, you walk a bit, like, through the building, and you see Greydmon again in his big golden and red armor.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Where am I sleeping?
Oh, a room has been prepared for you and the others, down the hall and to the left there.
Okay. Good night.
He gives you a bow. Good night, young miss.
Aoi will awkwardly bow back. Waddles.
You go to the room and you see everyone's already asleep in there at this point.
Okay.
Your training went on quite a lot longer than everyone else's.
Okay. Good night, Mr. Sniffles.
Good night, Aoi.
Aoi will lay down and go to sleep.
Mr. Sniffles will just kind of stay sat up for a while. He'll just look at Aoi and smile. Right before something flashes through his memory. And it kind of leaves a worried look on his face. Like he just remembered something that was really, really bad. Something he didn't want to remember. And now we cut to Mayumi's day.
Oh boy. I'm gonna mute myself now.
I gotta at Chibi so he can get back in here.
Yep. Oh, also, just as a little side note, I accidentally muted myself during the intro, but not the start of the session because I caught it before that. So we might have to edit a little bit out, but that's all.
Okay, I'm back.
Everything should be good. Hey Chibi, have fun, you nerd.
So, question. Before anything, how are we going to do upload? Okay.
Oh no. Probably like we're either gonna edit this or put a timestamp on it. So I guess we're just gonna upload it either the day of recording or a little afterwards. I don't know.
So then I must ask, what was the point of me like deafening and muting?
Oh, that was just so.
That was your choice.
That's
No one
true.
said you had to.
Yeah, the muting thing is just so like we don't have another audio source accidentally picking up, even if you don't say anything. Just a little precaution. Okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. You guys have fun.
Okay. So, Mayumi, after everyone had been taken off to do their trainings, you and Butenmon were left in the main room together.
Yes.
Hold on, I'm going through my notes again. He starts to walk up to you, and this is a very big form of a creature who's standing before you.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to follow me. He opens the doors behind you and tries to sidle around so as to not bump you or anything. He walks you down the hallway, and the door that is at the very end of the hallway, he opens up. You see a beautiful starlit room. It's covered in constellations, ones that you recognize from your world, some that you've never seen before. Maybe these are ones from this one. Strange contraptions litter this room. Some that you may recognize. You see simple stuff like telescopes and globes of probably both worlds. And even some technologies you haven't seen. But Butenman ushers you towards the table at the center. If you would please take a seat.
I will, kind of pausing from taking a look around the room, kind of reassess and nod, sit down.
You can tell this is probably someone's study, which is why it's kind of out of place from the rest of the house. You can see the paperwork and the books everywhere, so. And he hands you a letter.
What's this?
This was actually given to me by Lord Chronomon. He told me to give this to you when the time was right and you were all alone.
Ominous?
He just said that this would help you in some way. Help to alleviate some stress. And he just hands you this very nice letter. It's very traditional patterns over it, like you'd see on a folding screen. And this is what the letter says to you. If you'd like, I'll read it aloud as well.
Sure.
Young time traveler, I'm sorry I cannot be here to meet you in person for this, what is most likely a traumatic experience, in which you must be scared with thoughts running through your head such as that worry. Do not fear, young Mayumi, for the reason you are within my study is so that I may help alleviate some of the stress put upon you. This letter has reached you from the future, which is how I know what you're going through. In a short time we shall meet, and I shall know of your predicament, yet not know you personally. Through this encounter, I shall give you more information on a subject that will interest you greatly. But for now, you will have to take what my subordinate Butenman shall bequeath to you, the knowledge to keep your heart from aching. Use it well, and tell no one of what you've been given. It's important to keep it a secret, for if it is used by certain others, it can become very dangerous. Good luck to you on your endeavors, child of the White Wolf.
Huh.
And you hear a knock on the door, and Grademon is bringing in a tray full of tea and biscuits right now. He sets it politely down on the tables and starts to pour. With Butenmon sat at the other side of the table, just with his eyes closed. But you do notice something else on this table. You see a kind of cylinder. Don't know what it is. Very strange looking. Very brightly coloured too. Butenmon picks it up and hands it over to you. It's not very big. It's about the size of about like half the size of your forearm. I'd say. And I will show you what that looks like right now. You open it up and you see inside there's a strange star chart. It seems to move. You've seen something like this move before, sort of. But unlike Shino's blade on his card, this one looks like it's slowly rotating. I want you to roll me... Roll me history. You look at the two suns in either corner, and you notice that the symbol on the bottom right sun is one that appears as the core of Apollomon's sun on his back.
What is this?
As I've been told, and to keep a secret from everyone else, this is a sort of special way to communicate between the different servers. I do not know how to use it. The only one who does is Lord Chronomon. But if I have been informed correctly, it can also let you send letters through time.
I see.
I wish I could help you more, but I was only told to give you the basic information on everything.
No,
I don't know any more than just that.
This is enough. Thank you.
I'm glad to have been of some assistance. He leaves you alone in the room for a while so you can mull over some things. There is also a small note in that scroll case.
Take a look at the note.
It seems like instructions on how to read this properly. I want you to make me a wisdom check.
19.
You managed to follow along these notes very well, and the star chart around the edges, you notice there are words. These are unmoving. It's written in digicode, which you understand, so what you read is what looks like a spell of some sort. tells of how to send letters between the worlds themselves. But it also tells you how to use the star chart itself to send them to specific people. No matter what time they're coming from. And it just says on the bottom of that note, think hard.
Hmm. Think hard. Okay. Mai is going to roll up the map and put it away.
You do so. You're still in this room. Butenmon is waiting outside the door, just like, even though he left you in there for your own privacy, it's still just a screen door. You can see him through it. He's his big shadows against it.
Giant shadow.
Yeah.
Mai will exit the room, but not without taking the tea with her.
You do so. He's just standing there with the back to the door, keeping a watch to make sure no one comes closer. Just while you're having your friends alone in there.
I appreciate everything you've done and everything Chronomon has done.
He does so much for everyone here. We are like a family to him. He's a very kind man. He's always worrying about everyone, including those who we can never actually see ourselves. Hence the chart.
Right.
I just hope everything works out for you in the end.
Butenmon, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Of course.
The digidestined.
Hmm.
They're not the likely bunch, are they?
Oh no. But none of the digidestined that have come before them have been. So this one, more ragtag than the others, but still, they somehow get the job done, I think. Why? Is there something the matter with them?
No. The opposite, actually. I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on that.
I think their journey is going to be longer than any others, but I still see that with the right training, and as long as they don't stray too far from their paths, everything will end up alright in the end.
And this is coming from your words, not Chronomon's.
Yes, this is just my words. I'm sure Lord Chronomon will say the same thing.
Somehow I take solace in it regardless.
If you have
Is
any more
Greymon in the room?
Yeah, he still stood there with the tea tray.
I will just turn immediately to Greymon and go, by the way, the tea is very good.
Oh, thank you. I like to make it myself. It's my hobby besides training.
It's an exceptional tea for an exceptional Digimon.
Oh, you're too kind. If Armor could blush.
I do have some questions, Butenmon. Nothing
Yes, of course.
too serious.
Let's go back to the main room, then we can sit down and chat properly. He walks you back over to the room you were in before, but it looks like everything was already set up in a different way by the time you got back.
Mm-hmm.
The cushions have been rearranged and it's a bit more warmer feeling in there.
Regarding the item,
Oh, which item? The chart?
yes.
Oh, yes.
I believe there is someone who may wish to take a look at it, who might have a greater attachment to this than I do.
I was just told to give it to you. I'm not sure of the details, like I said, so I guess if you want to do something with it, then do it. What did you have? Who did you have in mind, and for what purpose, may I ask?
There's an individual who is from my time who is also here, also stuck, who really should not be here, belonging to the other server. I think just getting in contact with someone that they're familiar with would bring them great peace.
Well, if that is the case, maybe you should try sending a letter to her now and asking if she's alright. Now, I want you to roll me an insight on that.
16.
You heard, you only read that this spell let you send letters through time. You only read it, and Butenmon hasn't claimed to see these charts before.
Am I to insinuate that you know about this chart?
I've never seen it before in my life.
Suppose so.
It was just something that was told to make its way to you by our Lord Chronomon. That is all I can say.
Well, it's definitely going to get some use, that's for sure. But there's some other things that I want to know, not involving this item.
Yes.
I cannot help but worry. The way that the current Digidestined are going, there's a lot of training that is needed. I don't know if they have the time to do it.
Yes, I am also worrying about that. I also worry that if they don't get the proper training, or at least the base knowledge so they can learn on the road, that they may never have this knowledge, and it may be more dangerous for them.
So I ask, in your humblest opinion, what should we do?
Well, after today, everyone at least has had some form of training and some base knowledge. But if you think they might need a bit more of a push, I've heard that if you take a certain passageway from this village, it leads under the ocean and to the next island over. A small island. There is apparently a building there that trains you to be better in ways you want to feel stronger in, or more dexterous, or wise. You know exactly what he's talking about because you've seen on the map. It is the arcade.
The arcade. I see.
Big Birdman sips tiny teacup.
So you would suggest we go there?
If you feel if they need an extra boost, yes, that would be the place most helpful.
There are things happening in this timeline that don't correlate to my own. I can't help but be worried.
Do not be worried. A lot of things get stricken out of history books, not because they don't want to be remembered, but they are simply forgotten before they are written down. There's a lot of
Suppose you're
things
right.
that happened here in the digital world that hasn't been recorded, but that does not mean they didn't happen in a different way. Maybe you're just thinking too much into it.
Thinking's all I seem to be good at right now.
And why wouldn't you? You're scared, currently, right? Well, at least slightly worried.
Yeah. Slightly worried is a way of putting it.
Miss your parents.
Why wouldn't a child miss their parents?
And it might be best for you to read those charts very well for the next couple of days.
Oh well. Thank you.
Any other questions you'd like to ask while I'm here?
All I seem to be good for right now is motivation and being somewhat intelligent. I know that I can do better, and I know that I need to do better for them, for digidestined. It's a long shot, but do you think Taktamon will help?
He will be training the other one, but I don't see why he cannot help you as well.
Don't
You
need to
may
learn.
have to join him through his training days with Seiichi, but it should work out fine.
Do you think while this training is going on, we can also train our Digimon?
Oh yes, that is definitely going to happen too. I just wanted the first day of training to help get the other children started. The Digimon already have their ways of fighting. I thought best that the children go first so they can keep up with their Digimon as well at this point, as to say.
Understood.
Don't want anyone getting injured just yet.
I don't know about that.
Well, injuries will happen eventually. And I think you know that too.
I'm more worried about the property damage than I'm worried about them.
This is a village of warriors. Trust me. We have materials by the side to rebuild buildings. It's almost a daily occurrence here.
Oh, that's distressing.
No, it's fine. We've had to move so many times because the houses were almost destroyed in places, and almost unfixable, so we moved up here.
Think it might be a better idea to have regulations? Make things a
You
little
think
safer?
so? He just sips his tea again.
Huh. Okay.
No, I'm just joking. We're very careful with our buildings. The reason we had to evacuate our last town was an incredible storm kept whipping up, and it started to blow away everything we owned down there. This was the only safe place for us up here.
So it wasn't always like that.
No, unfortunately, it was a very prosperous land.
What happened to it?
The storm came. This was a long time ago this happened now. Before any of this trouble we started to have with the Demon Lords, or even before most of the Royal Knights were a part of the Order. Did you know some of them even trained here at the time of the Great Storm? They weren't even in they weren't even a Mega yet.
Like Hexamon?
Oh no, Examon has been that way for a while, but he still came here to train. We had lots of open fields, so he knew he could train without injuring any innocents. But yes, he was also a student here, once upon a time.
You said that the thunderstorms had been a thing even before the Demon Lords. Is it possible that it might have been something causing it?
I have my theories to why it's happening. I think it started when it did because the Demon Lord's plan went into action. And I will just say this. Time moves in many ways. Heavens forbid this, but if you and the others fail, something else may happen to this world. And I think that's what has these ancient powers waking up now. I want you to roll me another history when he says ancient powers.
A 9.
You heard of something called ancient Digimon before, but this was like one line in a book a while ago. You don't know if it was reference to specific Digimon or just Digimon in general in the past. That's why they're called ancient Digimon.
See. there can be 1,000,001 things that I would want to ask, but none of them seem important right now.
If they're important to you, then they are important. We have nothing but time for the next couple of days while they train.
Suppose in a better way of saying, I don't know if you're the right person to answer them.
I'm guessing you'd rather speak to Lord Chronomon.
I don't
If
know
he
who
were
to
here.
speak to sometimes.
I wish I could help, but even I am not omnipotent.
And I won't lie, Sir Butenmon. Things were easier back when it was just the boundary world to deal with. There was a bit of a concise line between good and evil, and there wasn't all of this. She's just kind of motioning to the room.
Times have become more strange.
Well,
The
it only
world,
gets stranger if you look at it in my perspective.
the world has grown, and I don't mean just ours. I mean the human world as well. It has advanced very quickly, and our world has tried to keep up with its advancements as well. Not by our choice, but it happens. And because of that, it gets more harder to keep track of things, which is why such disarray has befallen us now.
It's our job to fix it.
Unfortunately. If we could have fixed us ourselves, we would have. We wouldn't have had to put any other people in danger because of our problems.
I don't look at it in that way. I think it's the kindness of other people that makes us want to help other individuals.
You're a very smart young lady.
I learned it from Uncle Asta.
Maybe
Such as,
you could see him again at some point in the future.
well, I hope to be seeing him pretty soon, all things considered.
In Cyber City, correct?
Yes. Also, apparently, that's where some other individuals might be.
You could need to roll insight again.
11.
I'm going to give you advantage on this because this was like very out there. How does he know of who I was talking about, and why did he know where he was?
I think Mayumi's catching on a little bit. I need to speak to a lot of people who technically don't know me yet.
I hope you can find answers within them.
Like what the phrase tax evasion means.
That is... Oh boy, that's a big one. You don't need to worry about that just yet. Not until you're older. Whew.
Glad we had this talk.
I do hope I have managed to quell some of that stress within you down.
I wouldn't say quell. I actually don't know what that means, I'll be honest. But
Put at ease.
oh,
Something.
more like controlled it. Putting that stress to something better.
Just don't let it control you in the end.
No.
You're a very strong girl, Mayumi.
I have to. I have 3 kids that I need to make sure actually save the world
4.
for.
But
Seiichi is rubbing off on me.
in all honesty, I think the other young girl might be able to handle herself, though.
Yeah, I figured.
And if I'm correct in what I heard from Greatmon, she now has 2 teachers.
Uh-huh.
Our blacksmith, Bancho Leomon, he has also taken her under his wing.
What? How?
He apparently took a liking to her. Saw something in her that he hasn't seen in a long time.
It's the
I know.
camo.
I know that you have also known Bancho Leomon in the future.
Of course I know Bancho.
Then you also know how he lost his leg, right?
Do I actually know that?
You heard in stories in the future that there was a final fight between his group and a specialized team bent on bringing them down. And you also know that both sides' leaders got very injured, which is why they don't exist as groups anymore. It was both Leomon that lost his leg and Darkdramon who lost both his arm and his sight.
Was a fight. What is the phrase? A dispute.
Yes, it was horrifying to watch. Unfortunately, I was there. I had took Bancho Leomon in after the fight and helped him get back onto his foot at the time. But he was never fully the same. He and his group disbanded. I know he and Bancho Stingmon still keep in very good touch. He still comes to visit quite a lot. But I haven't heard from any of the others since then. Even the task force has been disbanded as well.
Well, that doesn't sound quite right.
It was... And what do you mean it's not right?
Well, the Banchos are all friends. How could they... Why would they separate and not even bother talking to each other?
I don't know that full story, I'm afraid, either. All I know is after they saw their leader in such a state, they didn't want to see him like that again. So they left. Well, at least 3 of them did. Like I said, I know Bancho Stingmon keeps coming back, And I think that, well, they may be in a better relationship than the others. And he actually goes and pulls a small picture from out behind him. And he shows it to you.
Aw.
Those two were more the best of friends than the rest. Even after he lost his leg, Bancho Stingmon kept coming back to check on him every single day.
But you're saying he hasn't come back.
Not for a while. But I've also heard that he's currently helping out other bug types within Colony Town. So he has his own priorities as well. I know he would come back as soon as he could.
Well, it's settled then.
What is settled, if I may be permitted to know?
Friends have to stay as friends. When they separate, that's not good.
I'll give you a small tip then, if you want to follow along with this path. Do you have a map by any chance?
Yes.
I'll bring us
Okay.
back over to the big map so we can use this one. You see him point to 3 other locations on this map. He points firstly to the island in the bottom left, where the red mark is over that. You'll find Bancho Lilymon has taken up residency there. He moves over to Cyber City. Oh, well, this is worrying if one of the Demon Lords has taken up residency there, but that is where you may find Bancho and Mamemon. And then finally he moves up to the mountains. I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but Bancho Golemon now has a job working as a postal service, along with the Bakumon. And of course you know where Bancho Stingmon now resides, so
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to point that one out. But be careful if you do go to Cyber City. Not only is the Demon Lord there, but I know for a fact that was the last known location of Darkdramon as well.
What's Darkdramon?
He was the head captain of the team that was trying to capture and defeat the Bancho team. He originally rose through the ranks, and after he was beaten as a tankmon, he wanted not to bring them to justice anymore, but to get revenge. And he did get his revenge in the end. But it came at the cost of his health, but it came at the cost of his own well-being as well.
I believe that there's a little bit of good in most Digimon, if not all of them. But I did learn a couple things from Uncle Asta, and if I know him well, and he is in Cyber City, he's probably fighting him as we speak.
You're probably right.
Probably shouting things like dirty pig and things like that. I don't really get what those mean.
Don't worry, you'll understand when you're older.
I keep hearing that a lot.
Because it's true. It's more something you have to fully experience yourself to understand.
Well, I suppose you of all people would know.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I think you do.
He just puts a finger up to where his mouth would be. Keep secrets now.
Mai just smiles.
You two have a nice chat for a while. You start talking just about this and that, just other stuff that have gone on in the digital world. And you hear a loud crack noise. And a blade comes swinging through half of the wall.
Mai just kind of stares at the damage for a while before looking over. See, my worry was not unwarranted.
Butenmon just puts his head in his hands. Oh, you're right. Gosh darn it. And that's where you rejoined with everyone else at that point. So that's where we end that part off too.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. So we're all good?
Yep.
Thank
How did you two enjoy your mini episodes?
I had fun.
Going after some bonchos, that's what we're doing.
Aoi made 2 new friends. And one of her friends is sad, which concerns her, but we'll get to the bottom
And one
of
is
that.
just an excitable fuck.
Yeah. Aoi's gonna kick some ass. I'm very excited.
Good. I hope
You have
so.
Dynasmon gauntlets now.
I do.
Ooh.
I fucking do.
I'll let you decide how those look.
Oh, okay. Probably gonna have to look at Dynasmon and think how
Oh,
to make these.
Dynasmon's fucking cool looking.
Also, just saying, Jack, I'm looking at like what Dark Dramon even is, and I'm like, he looks pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, he's the one I have to make alternate art for now.
If it's up to my, her, the Bonchos and Dark Dramon are all gonna be friends. They don't get a choice.
I mean, if you manage to get them to make up, there is a DNA digivolution between Dark Dramon and Bancho Leomon.
Really?
Yep, Chaosmon.
Oh.
So looking at, is it Dynasmon?
Dynasmon.
Dynasmon.
Dynasmon, sorry. Just
Dynasmon.
Dynasmon.
So looking at Dynasmon, I could probably just design gauntlets that are just based straight off like his hands.
You really just could. That's what makes this one so easy.
That's pretty fucking cool. I love like the little like golden bumps. Oh no. Very excited, thank you. Okay.
Well, that was that. And whenever this should hopefully come out, at least before next full session, but
yep.
We'll see you guys for the next leg of their journey.
Okay.
Digimon.
See everybody.
Goodbye for now.
Bye.